Hi there, welcome to today's painting tutorial. In this episode, we're going to paint an amethyst crystal. So let's get started. And I'm going to start with a size 8 flat brush. I have some black, ultramarine blue, purple, a warmer purple, some white, and then some gray. And let's start by putting in the darker values. We're going to do a block in for the painting to start with. And I'm going to take some of this purple, mix a little bit of black in there to darken the color. So it's going to be our darkest value. And let's start blocking that in. If you want to paint along with me, you can find a link to this sketch in the description below. And a flat brush is great for painting stones and crystals because you get that nice crisp flat edge. Then I'm going to come on this area. So you can really try to let the brush do the work for you and get those geometric blocky shapes. I'm going to take more purple and mix a little bit more of the black. Let's add some over here. Then on this side. Okay, let's come over to this area. And you can kind of vary your brush strokes, make some of them horizontal and some of them vertical. Just kind of blocking in these shapes. You can vary your colors as well. Add more black to some strokes and less black to others. Come over here. And then I'm going to add some over in this section. Let's put some right here. Okay, so now I want to kind of adjust the color. So I'm going to add some of this ultramarine blue into the mix and kind of mix that together with the purple. And then let's add that in. Maybe add more blue if you need to. And I'm putting this around the darker areas that we blocked in. So it's going to give a nice variation of color. That ultramarine blue is really going to make it cooler and just give a really nice variation. Okay, I'm going to put some on this side. Again, I'm just blocking this in. Okay, you could add more blue and just do, without adding any more purple onto the brush, see if you could get some areas that are going to present as very blue. Okay, so now I'm going to rinse off the brush and let's take the straight purple. So without adjusting the value, without adding any black to it, let's start putting that in. This is like a mid-tone color. You can see without the black, it's going to be quite a bit brighter. And let's start putting that in. Okay, so now at this point, I'm gonna put in some of the light values because I don't want to lose those really light values that are really important. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix, let's take some white and a little bit of the purple to mix a light purple color. And let's put in some of those light values. So right here is pretty light. And then over here, then coming down this way, add more white if you need to. Okay, so then at the bottom here, we have this triangle that is going to be light. And then over here, just so that I don't lose my light values. Okay, over on this edge. Crystals are a lot of fun to paint. It's kind of like doing a puzzle. Just getting all these little geometric shapes in there. Okay, and then this area is a little bit lighter, so I'll mark that. Can come over here. And then right here is a light area. Okay, so I think we've got all of those. Actually, right here, we can add some light there. Then over here. Okay, so I think that's good for our light areas. And now let's add some other warmer colors. So I'm gonna take this. It's more of a magenta color. We'll add a little bit of white in there to lighten it. And then let's start blocking that in. Okay, so we'll do that there. In the center here. Okay, let's add this. Along the bottom. Okay, so that area is actually light, so I'm gonna rinse the brush and then go back and add that in. Mix some of that original purple with some of the white, and then add this in as a lighter, cooler value. I kind of missed. And then I'll take that dark purple and bring that along this edge. Okay, so now let's continue with the warmer purple. I'm going to bring some over here. Okay, and I'm kind of just filling in all the white spaces that we have left at this point with this color. Just because this is our block in, and it can be, doesn't have to be precise. Okay, so I think that's good for a first layer, so we can let this dry completely and then we'll come back and do some refining. And then I'm going to take some of this gray paint and I'm going to go back and add a little bit of the gray to certain areas in the painting. around some of these white patches. Just going to give some a little bit more depth to the painting. And just make the colors more complex. Now it's time to go back and refine the painting. So let's do this with a size 0 round brush. I'm going to take some of this blue and purple, mix it with a little bit of white. And then I'm going to come over here. And start making a little bit more refined geometric shapes. And I'm going to take some white paint and add a little detail there. Okay, I'm going to take some of this blue with the purple and some white. I'm going to go around this little shape here. Then I'm going to warm that color up. Come in over here. Then let's put some of that over on this side. I'm going to rinse the brush and then add some white paint. Come right here. Then I'm going to bring that white down this side. Then over here. And I'm going to take some straight purple and put that around those white lines that we made. Okay, so let's bring some of this color and just kind of redefining the shapes, kind of outlining them, trying to add some shadow and detail. Okay, I'm going to add some of this. Now let's take some purple and go around this edge. So it's kind of hard not to get lost in all the different shapes. Okay, just try to isolate a shape and then think about adding some shadow to it, some definition, just by taking a darker color and outlining and shading, kind of going around the edge. Okay, let's go around this area. Okay, so I'm mostly putting in the darker values at this point. Just using those to add some shadows on top of that lighter, almost pinkish purple. Okay, and then don't forget to also kind of step back while you're doing this to assess your work. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty good. And now we can just sort of add some highlights. So you can take the white paint, mix it with the cooler purple, and then go back and see any place you want to add some nice highlights. Okay, so then let's let this dry completely, and then we can try coming back with a glaze and see if that can kind of tie everything together. So I'm going to take my size 8 flat brush. I put some glazing medium onto the palette, and let's take some of this warm magenta purple and mix that in with the glazing medium. So you don't want to cover everything. You don't want to go over all of the cool areas because then you'll lose that. So I'm going to go over the warmer areas with this glaze. And I'm going to go over some of the white as well. Just use it sparingly and try not to go over everything. Can also help you to cover up the whites of the paper. Okay, and then sort of step back and see the effect that it's creating. Okay, then you can have a nice glowing effect. So now at this stage in the painting, you can go around and try to clean up some of your edges. Just try to make things look really straight so that it's more realistic. Then you can also go ahead and add more details. Continue to refine things as much as you want. There's so many shapes that you can get lost in, so this could take hours to work on. Just take your time and have fun with it. Okay, and then I'm going to try to add some final highlights. So we'll take some white paint. I want to emphasize this area right here. Just any highlights that you want to stick out. And another thing you can do is take some white paint that has a little bit of water in it so that it's kind of transparent. And you can use that transparent white to kind of add some highlights as well. and they will also dry less intense. And you can use that to do some final detailing. You create little highlights and little flashes of light throughout the crystal, helping it to come to life. And you can also come back with your dark values. So you could take some of the black, mix it with the purple and the blue to make a nice dark shadow color. And then I can use that to come around and sort of outline some of these areas here. Just help redefine some of these dark shadows and these geometric shapes. And I'm going to also come in with some of the white, a little bit of that warmer purple. And let's put some over here. Have a little bit of glowing, shimmering white. Then there's little lines here. Okay, I can add some more white to lighten some of those. Okay, and I think we will call this painting complete. Please like and subscribe for more painting tutorials, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye!